2, 1. Hello, game submission staff. My name is DE Cosmic.
And my name is AvuKamu.
And this is our game submission for New Game Co-op Amateur for Resident Evil 5. As a disclaimer, we're going to be running on a New Game Plus file for the purposes of the marathon, because we wanted to be able to have all the costumes available for the costume incentive for both of the characters. And there will be less text prompts in between the chapters, which will help us out a little bit on the RTA. However, I should note that all of the strats that we'll be doing and the money route that we will be taking are all totally viable on New Game, and that is what the route is constructed around. So I'm going to go ahead and start here. I'm going to go into chapter select 1-1, go to amateur, pick my character, and then I'm going to invite AvuKamu to the game, or just Kamu.
And New Game Plus involves you having an unlimited rocket launcher, whereas in New Game we have to earn each rocket launcher.
I think it's that's the biggest thing separating both of the categories. So now that Kamu is in the game, we're both going to just be starting out with regular handguns and a first aid spray. So time is going to start in 3, 2, 1. So in Resident Evil 5, Chris Redfield of Resident Evil 1 fame has been deployed by the BSAA to track down a weapons dealer named Irving, who was selling a bioweapon on the black market. He is joined by his partner Sheva Alamar from BSAA's African division, which is where Irving was last spotted. And this co-op run here, we're going to be doing a lot of delegating tasks, splitting up tasks in order to making them faster, as well as splitting up ammo consumption and weapon usage. The big thing is going to be that Chris is going to be using the handgun for the majority of the run, whereas Shev is going to be using the machine gun for the majority of the run. So starting out, we're just going to get our handguns and stuff, and we're going to be introduced to the first big co-op thing, which is just holding doors for each other. And this makes it easier to just move from room to room smoothly, so that each of you does not have to open the door a second time. There's also these doors that have to be activated by both players. I'm just going to call them co-op doors. We're going to be skipping this cutscene and just running around this guy right here. I'm going to jump out this window while Kamu grabs some handgun ammo, and I'm just going to make my way down here. And then he's going to shout, "Go, go, go" at me. We're just going to turn around, just go right back on into this room here, which is where we're going to be greeted by a little bit of a announcement or PSA from Kirk here. I'm also going to grab this handgun here, as well as the red herb, combine the two herbs down there, do a little bit of inventory management, and we're just going to have to wait at this co-op door here.
And it's noted that I didn't have to go to that door because some cutscenes will bring you to each other, so you'll see us either just waiting, or more often we'll be getting new items in a set room and then be teleported forward.
Correct. This part right up here is a timed event as far as how long it takes you to complete the mission. It's timed by the in-game timer. So there's only a couple of things that you can do in order to make it a little bit faster. And there's also going to be some things that we do in order to minimize the risk in this section. So starting out here, we're just going to grab some ammo and maybe some gold from these barrels here, as well as this little drawer underneath the TV. I'm going to also grab this on the side here. So the first thing that we're going to be doing in this area here with the village is just taking the weapons out of the hands of the villagers. And we want to do this because we want to just get grabbed by them continuously so that we don't waste a ton of ammo on them. And if you shake out of an enemy grab in this game, you take no damage, as long as you shake out of it quick enough. They do die pretty fast though, remember this is amateur. And there is difficulty adjustment in this game, I should note, similar to Resident Evil 4, but it's not as pronounced in this game, and at amateur it's always, I believe, set to the lowest. So the big thing here that we're doing is just setting up so that when the executioner spawns, which is a big dude with a giant axe, I'm going to be aiming at the Executioner in order to make him move a little bit faster, and Sheva is going to be standing in front of the box to also manipulate him. However, we have to wait for a cutscene to play as well as some dialogue, which is going to come up in about a minute or so. So this is a pretty good time for the donations. And go ahead, Kamu.
Yeah, you'll notice instead of manually reloading, it will go into the menu either while we're getting grabbed or waiting for each other, dragging the ammo into the actual gun itself, which is a tribute to the older Resident Evil games. You weren't really able to do that during Resident Evil 4, I believe.
Yep. It's just little things that here and there. Manual reloading I only really use a couple of times in order to like time certain things a little bit better. Or if I just have the time to do it, I can do it then. And then here's where he says help's on the way, and then after Sheva says her line, there's the in-game cutscene denoting that the Executioner is spawned. Unfortunately, I just got grabbed there. But now I can aim at him. He's going to take a little bit here. There we go. Nice. Okay.
That was actually the longest wait I've seen in a while.
Yeah, I got grabbed right as soon as we came out of the cutscene. However, not going to throw things off too much. So Kamu's going to go over and do his thing. He's going to be grabbing a bunch of items. I'm going to grab this handgun ammo here, this machine gun ammo, as well as a fire grenade or incendiary grenade and a hand grenade. And then I'm going to jump out here, hopefully get around this guy. Unfortunately not. And then grab this small machine gun here. I'm never actually going to use this machine gun. I'm going to sell it on a later chapter for a little bit of money, as well as to give Kamu the ammo for it later. Grab a little bit here. So we're just kind of letting the Executioner walk around here while we grab some items for the journey ahead. We're going to be doing a little bit of manipulation to him as well, where we're going to stand in a certain spot in order to make him go below us and just never hurt us ever. It's kind of funny, actually. He stays there the entirety of the section, so we just never have to worry about him. So here we go. Gonna just head on over here.
On a casual playthrough, you use the environment. There are generators, there are red barrels to survive. But here,
yep, I'm right up here. So I'm going to actually go in place of the manipulation here. I'm going to give Kamu this fire grenade as well as the machine gun ammo, and then I'm going to move my inventory around a little bit here. Kamu's going to give me some hand grenades to max out my hand grenade count, and then I'm going to give him back the remainder there. So the way I have my inventory organized is I have my weapons on top, so the handgun, machine gun, and then the hand grenade. I have the ammo in the middle, and then I have the heals in the bottom 3. Organizing your inventory and being able to hot swap and remembering what is in your inventory at pretty much all times is pretty crucial to just going fast in this game, because you just spend less time having to think about those types of things. So here you can see all these enemies underneath me, and the Executioner is around here somewhere. Where did he go? I think he just faded. There he is. There's the tip of his axe right there. You can see him. It's pretty weird. So it's a little bit weird that this actually works out, but it does, so we do it. You can also kind of use an alternate strat where you go over to this bus here and just kill enemies and get like a bunch of drops from them. The Executioner can't actually get on top of the bus, so he's just forced to sit there while you just hack up his minions. Do we actually want to show that off?
I can just walk through him right here.
Okay. Oh, nice. Okay, nice. All right. He finally swung. He finally did something.
Yeah. My bit here, I'm just killing enemies, trying to use up my handgun ammo while getting gold. The reason why I'm using up my handgun ammo is because I will be selling the handgun relatively soon. And if I want to have an exact ammo count, so I don't have to waste time selling my ammo as well.
Yeah, this is also a pretty good section for donations as well, because we have about a minute left here of just waiting around for the Executioner and the time to expire. Because Kirk just has to pick up Chris and Sheva. There he is right there on the radio. Just letting us know he'll be here shortly. And then Chris says, "Did you hear that, Sheva? Help's on the way." But he says it like 20 seconds later.
It's also noted if we wanted to heal on these runs, we would do it during these time sections or bits where one of us is waiting for the other.
Correct. And I'm just kind of running in place here just to make sure that the game knows that I'm still active. So it doesn't think that it needs to kick me out of my own game. And here we go. Should be Kurt coming up in a few seconds here. There he is.
I'm gonna take out the door. Find some cover.
Nice. That is chapter 1-1. So heading into 1-2, we actually are going to see our first boss as well, which we just call the Ramen Burros. It's just the Ouroboros monster. A lot of these sections here in the beginning are really all about just precise movement. The better you move in this game, the less that you actually have to deal with in terms of RNG and in terms of having to deal with enemies, certain enemies. So we'll demonstrate that here, where as long as we just run through this section at a pretty brisk pace, the enemies all just tend to miss us. So we're gonna kick open this door here, skip the cutscene, and then just run right on through.
So lore-wise at this point, the Ouroboros is very similar to his cousin, the Las Plagas in Resident Evil 4, which is supposed to enhance the user's ability, but of course for any video game, only 1 in a million can actually encompass its powers. Spoiler alert. So most of the Ouroboros-based enemies we fight will be hosts that are consumed by the virus.
Yeah, there's also a little fight here with this blonde lady. We're just going to run away from here. And we're going to run past these guys. Going to get the line there. This line right here will pretty much just guarantee that you can run through completely free past all these enemies.
That blonde lady also is where the Ouroboros is introduced. If you're familiar with Las Plagas, it's a giant tentacle coming out of her head.
Yep. And those, like in Resident Evil 4, those Las Plagas enemies, the big tentacle heads that shoot out, they're pretty durable, but you can kill them with flash grenades, just like in Resident Evil 4, which you will see. Oh no, jump scare.
Despite how many times I've run this game, I think at least half the runs I'll always be genuinely scared of that. Forgetting about it.
Alright, and here's a little thing that's important to note, is that if one person is doing something, like me opening this door, the other person should just be going to do the next thing. Another example of this coming up is where I have to run forward to grab this key in the next room, so I'm going to be opening the door, just because I have a little bit further to run. While Kamu grabs some ammo before I get to the key here. And this key, once I pick it up, Kamu is going to be activating the door panel over there. This just prevents one of us from having to run back in order to activate the door panel. A little bit of a delegation task through co-op efficiency. So there's the Ramen Burros, or the Ouroboros monster. And
another example of Chris being teleported to me because I was the trigger of the cutscene.
Yep. Gas can, dude.
No gas can.
No gas can? Okay. Sounds good. So there's 2 strats for this room, where you can either kill it with a gas can and stun it that way, or you can do it this way, where you bait it into the furnace.
Good.
And then we're just going to hit it there. Boom.
The obviously safer and a little bit slower routing is we'll knock down a gas can, shoot him with the gas can once he enters the room, but there's this whole animation where he's getting hurt by the gas can.
Yeah, so we just do this instead. And then we're home free. He just got trapped in the furnace.
It's noted that in New Game Plus, this is the first major difference in the routing. You would just rocket this boss once with your unlimited rocket launcher, and if he dead, you could just beat him right here where he spawns.
Yeah, a lot of time save right there, just on one rocket. Alright. Got a couple of time for donations here as well.
Come on.
And that is that chapter. Alright, so this is where the run kind of starts to get a little bit spicy. This is the beginning of Chapter 2, where, first of all, what's going to happen is Kamu's going to grab the machine gun, which is going to be his primary source of DPS throughout the run. We're also going to get introduced to the dogs, as well as some very, very aggressive Majini sections. We're going to have to shoot down a couple of tripwires here as well. Oh, that guy grabbed me. That's unfortunate. Just going to run on through, and then the dogs should be spawning pretty soon. Yep, there they are. They are activated.
Compared to most other RE games, the meme is dogs are free. Dogs are not free. They have a very big hit model in this game. So what will often happen is they'll either fight against you or they'll push you through a level. And you'll see very shortly when we enter the sewers how they'll either help us or hinder us. More likely hinder, but that's speedrunning for you.
I had to just shoot down the dog there just for Kamu. Make sure that we could just do the co-op door pretty much instantly. You can grab a heal here as Chris, but not necessary, so we just tend to skip it. Kamu's just going to shoot down that truck there, and then we're just going to go across this bridge. He's just going to shoot the gas can. And then we just get to run by all of these dudes. This is the dogs section here. So Kamu's just going to let me go ahead because Chris is a little bit bulkier. We don't want to have to contend with the weird aggro there. So all the dogs are going to aggro to me, and that's going to make it a little bit easier for Kamu to weave his way through. And I'm going to also hold the door for him right here. Okay, there we go. That was kind of lucky.
So rather than being right behind each other, you'll see me stagger a bit behind him. Because if we're running together, our models will collide, and obviously an attack that'll have just missed Chris will hit me. So usually what I will do is after an enemy's attack pattern, I will run the opposite way that they are attacking, just so it is pretty cool.
You saw another example of co-op delegation there, where Kamu shot the lockdown and then I just kicked it open. I kicked open the door with the shot lock. This is also going to happen here. He's going to also call for it just in case.
Got it.
Cool. And then I'm going to have to shoot down this key here. And then he'll be good to open the dock doors.
Here's a first example
Oh,
of
goodness.
a big example of a door hold. If I went on ahead, you would have to open the door.
And I'm here. That guy clipped me. He never clips me. Alright. Here I'm also gonna just sort of reload there and then shoot this guy. Make sure he doesn't swing on us. Oh, that's unfortunate. I saw that. So this is actually one of the first big skips of the game, which is... I just call it nade skip.
Roger. Thanks, Kirk.
I just have to throw a grenade over the roof of a building, and sort of, I guess, bounce it off the awning, and then blow up a lock on the other side. This will skip a whole sequence where we have to do an assist jump, and I have to protect Sheva and all that fun stuff. We're just gonna not do that.
Yeah,
So
I have to go to the building across the street. I have to go down that building and then shoot the lock off the first building.
So there's that. These guys are dead, and then here we go.
Kirk, what's going on? Come in, Kirk.
All right. That hopefully will be it.
Got it.
Nice. There we go. Nice and smooth. And then we're going to go... The chainsaw boss from Resident Evil 4 is back, by the way. And we're just going to dump some grenades into him. And then we're going to take him to Duff City in a second here.
I got one more.
Oh. And then he's going to just eat lead. That was a very quick chainsaw. Very nice. There we go. Gonna grab the guard's key here. And Kamu's already going to be ready. Opening the door for me. And I'm here. And we're going to pick up these right here. The treasures in this game, they all have a set worth to them. We're going to be using them to buy upgrades for our weapons as well as rocket launchers to skip some bosses. There's also, I should note, quite a few QTs in this game. Everybody's favorite part of the late 2000s, early 2010s. A little bit of time for donations here as well. Zombies on motorbikes,
I can always choose not to say Cosmic here, but you know, I'm too kind-hearted for that.
Are you though? Are you? Maybe. We'll just say that you are. So, Chapter 2.2. Yeah, there's no buying right here. We're not going to do any buying yet. This is just the train yard. I'm going to be picking up a treasure here as well. There's also some dogs here, but these dogs are actually pretty free. So all we got to do here is just shoot this first tripwire. And then Kamu's going to shoot another one for me. And we're going to go on through.
We wait a little bit because we want the dogs to spawn and actually approach us. Otherwise, just in case, the dogs will be... We'd have to deal with them. It wouldn't be a problem regardless, but just to be safe.
Definitely. This next section here, the cave section, you can choose to not pick up the lantern here. For the safety purposes, we usually pick it up. It only loses a couple of seconds.
Sheva.
And it just makes seeing things a little bit easier.
If that, and we get optimal line with light as well.
Yep. Let me actually just use this real quick. Oh, shoot. I thought you were there. Well, okay. Alright, here we go.
Once again, I'm going to let Chris go first so that his bulky model can bait out the enemy's attacks, where I could just slink by.
It's also important to not shoot enemies here because a lot of them are guaranteed plagas.
Especially this next bit, you're going to see us just weave through the enemies.
Hopefully. Oh, shoot. Okay, there we go. Nice. Yep, good to go. In this run, we also have both keyboard and controller hooked up. At least I do. I don't remember if you actually do it, Kamu.
I'll do this right.
Okay.
Oh, I don't, personally.
Yeah, so I use a controller to actually do a lot of these levers and cranks and stuff. One person has to do the crank here. And I'm just going to use the controller here to just spin it a little bit faster. And there we go, you're through. So at the top of this room is going to be the first showdown with Irving. Or at least so we think. Sheva and Chris are closing in on his location. And they're hoping that they can just bring him to justice.
You're telling me the game doesn't end after one chapter?
That would be something. But no.
That's an evil speedrun.
The truest of any percents. Okay.
Ooh, what a shot.
Let me actually heal real quick here. Just top us off. Alright. So here, after this cutscene skip, I'm actually going to be grabbing the Dragunov sniper rifle, which is the main sniper rifle that I'm going to use through a bunch of the game. And I'm going to be shooting down a few things. So this is going to go into my third slot. I'm going to take out this guy here that would normally man the machine gun. I'm going to take out this guy that would mess with Kamu's line. And I'm going to shoot down this treasure for Kamu as well. And this is going to be the first instance of what we call a tactical reset, which is a reset that you use not only to set up buys, or to despawn enemies, but also to bring yourself over to a checkpoint that your partner has initiated. So while Kamu's going up there, I'm going to be grabbing this treasure over here. And then I'm going to be waiting for his mark.
3, 2, 1.
And I'm going to hit checkpoint reset here. While he is upgrading and selling, I'm going to sell this machine gun here, give him the ammo from it, and then upgrade the capacity on my sniper rifle. Not the firepower, the capacity. I'm just going to ready up on after that one. So now we're going to be fighting the winged Ouroboros creature, or just we call it Batboros. There's a bunch of these enemies that throw dynamite at us, but you can just run through them as well.
So in this upcoming fight, on a casual playthrough, what would happen is this is where you're introduced to the weapon, the remote mine. There's a 4 or 5 second sequence in the beginning where the bat burrows is in the air, then he'll jump down. You're supposed to place a bunch of remote mines. He hits one of them, he'll flip over, you hit his vulnerable underside. But what we're going to do is we're going to utilize the Dragunov. While he's in the air, we're going to hit his weak spots because the sniper rifle bullets are penetrating, and then this will bring him to his first vulnerable state.
Yep, so 3 shots usually downs him. Kamu's going to dump a bunch of ammo into him, as well as myself. And that is the 1 cycle there. Very nice.
And that was why you saw me upgrade my firepower and capacity cell, so it matches the 1 cycle. Otherwise, we'd have to deal with the bat climbing up, being invulnerable, walking around, charging at us, the usual.
Yeah, I should also note, I didn't explain this during the buy, but upgrading capacity on your weapons refills their capacity. So my sniper rifle there was at 4, and then it refilled to the full new capacity, which I believe was 9, or 8 maybe. But so yeah, so we abused that in order to get just free ammunition. This is probably one of the more infamous sequences in this game, where you have to you're escaping from all these Magini. This is where the game actually tells you this is Las Plagas. These enemies that you're facing are called Magini, and Capcom decided that they were going to treat you to some QTEs and an auto-scroller with some machine guns and a minigun. Pretty good time for donations. Very good time for donations, actually.
When speedrunning, this is a very good section to just take a breather on.
Absolutely, especially after like Dave skip and then the Bat Burrows fight back to back. It's a nice little like chill out section. There's also a boss fight at the end of this where another shout out to RE4, the Gigante returns, but this time you just have to fight him with the turrets on the back of the truck here. There's only a little bit of RNG in that fight, in the attacks that he does. Most of them you can interrupt, or most of them you can tank as well. There you have like dodge prompts that you can do. It's only worth going for the dodge prompts on his ground pounds.
We get some regardless on his ground pounds.
Yeah, we get some regardless on the ground pounds, but if he like tries to punch you, you can just shoot the gun during the entire animation of it, including when he hits you.
And it's kind of funny if you think about it, because both of us have 2 miniguns, yet Resident Evil 4's Gigante dies faster because, of course, you have a rocket launcher at that point.
Or in No Merchant, they just like expose the Plagas and throw a flash grenade at him.
Got some sharp curves up ahead.
Is that how that works?
Hold on tight.
Yeah, they bounce a flash grenade off of like a wall, and that kills him.
Oh.
It's wild.
Reinforcements are en route. Hold your position until they arrive. Repeat, hold your position.
Pick up the pace.
Let's pick up the pace. That won't even scratch the paint. I forget who does the voice acting for this guy, but they're just phenomenal, honestly.
A lot better than the earlier Resident Evil, speaking of.
Yeah, to be honest. Should also note, there's even like a little bit of task delegation here as well, because I'm mostly focusing on the trucks, while Kamu focuses on the Magini on the motorbikes.
It doesn't make too much of a difference in the lower difficulty because obviously they do insignificant amounts of damage during this story.
And that should be the truck down there. Yep.
Nice.
The higher
Nice.
difficulty, you have to prioritize a little bit better. Some of them are throwing Molotovs, some of them are throwing axes, and of course they would do a lot more damage in the higher difficulties.
Absolutely.
But amateur is the main category for this.
Yeah, I think it's mostly just because of the DA, or the difficulty adjustment stuff. Just having it lower all the time is better than having to deal with veteran where it can fluctuate or just enemies are really, really aggressive.
And the routing is mostly the same, it's just the enemies are harder, which, you know, defeats the purpose of a speedrun.
And here is the Gigante. So we're just going to start DPSing down on him. Shoot him in his foot as well. Take him to the podiatrist. Then he should get stunned right about here. Then he's going to get knocked back here. He's going to explode some Plagas. And we're going to have to take down these two. And we're going to have to do this 2 times in order to expose the big Plaga on his back. He's going to come over here, and then I'm going to shoot the barrel here in order to prevent him from grabbing the pole. Otherwise, we'd get a cutscene. And that cutscene wastes quite a bit of time, plus he gets some new beefy attacks.
So obviously we're not blowing up the red barrels immediately to interrupt him before getting into said cutscenes.
Yep. So there's the first phase right there. And these guns, by the way, can overheat, so we can't just hold down the shoot button and just go to town. We do have to kind of pay attention to the little red gauge there on the side. Here is the second wave of the Plagas coming out of him. Probably going to be going for the club soon. Nice RNG here on the attacks as well. He's not doing any of the slams. Oh shoot. Okay, there we go.
I went for it.
You went for it, nice. I respect it. A little bit of risky strat there from Kamu, choosing to blow up the barrel, do a little bit of extra damage to the Plagas, and down the Gigante goes.
Hey, it's a speedrun, baby.
Hey. So now that we're out of the city, go ahead, Kamu.
If I had missed that, we would have had a cutscene where he picks up the pole, arms himself with the pole. But
it would have just been a not good time. But being the god gamers that we are, that did not happen. That's why I just got caught in an invisible wall there. So this boat section here, we have to grab a few insignia plates and then put them into a door in order to get to the next section. This boat right here, I don't know about this section, dude. It's kind of sketch. I don't know about it.
It comes down to how good are you driving on a boat in a video game that has terrible driving mechanics. So a lot of drifting, a lot of braking, a lot of Tokyo drift on the water, pretty much from Cosmic. While I think that was an insult to Tokyo Drift. You cursed it. There we go. I also got to come over here in order for Kamu to pick up a extra treasure there in the water. As soon as you mentioned the Fast and Furious, dude, it all went to heck. Alright, so Kamu is actually going to be picking up the insignia here while I grab a treasure as well as a couple of ammo pickups as well. I'm hoping kind of for a flash grenade in one of these vases, because more flash grenades are really, really good in this game. A little bit of handgun ammo there, that's fine. This section also introduces the new type of enemies, which we'll be dealing for the second third of the game, which are the village Majini. They are more of the tribal African people. They're a little bit stronger, they jump a little farther, they throw spears, they have shields, just a little bit harder than your typical Majini from the village.
The city Majini. This guy up here spawns up, and Kamu is going to shoot him down pretty quick, and we're just going to head on out to the next spot here. This next spot here, we're going to actually be contending with... Wow, those guys were not nice today. Alright, so... don't worry about it, it's all good. And so this next spot here has some pretty risky enemies to deal with, I want to say.
They're one-hit kills.
That's true, yeah. They're just straight up one-hit kills. The Gators. The spawns here, they're limited, but they're also random. There's only a certain amount of, like, certain kind of spawns that can happen. And there's only certain...
is actually a dangerous gator because he could spawn anywhere in the doorway and actually was a pretty bad gator.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. That is pretty bad. Oh boy. So I just got to chill out for a little bit here, because these gators are definitely just hanging around where I got to grab this treasure.
So normally, if you're lucky, that gator and the entrance will spawn on one side of the entrance. So if you spawn to the right, you can go to the left, and vice versa. But he spawned in the middle of the entrance, so if you ran on either side of him, you'd be in the hitbox for that instant kill. So you have to wait, run around, deal with him. Hopefully we get better this time.
That was so sketch, you have no idea. I actually almost got grabbed. So now that I'm back, go ahead.
You know, did you take a bit of time on that gator?
Yeah, I really took. I had to stand there because they're both in front of the treasure.
No, he didn't spawn that second time.
That was weird. Yeah, there was like a third gator that spawned behind me and almost bit me. Like, I saw him on my screen miss me. Yikes.
People say that section is free, but you'll get eaten eventually one day.
Eventually, yeah. Nobody has ever not gotten eaten on gators, I'm pretty sure. This is going to be a section called an assist jump, where I just have to lift Sheva up to a higher platform. He's going to pick up the next one.
Coming up is a really good example of the Chris Cosmic going on ahead, and I will just go the opposite way of the attack enemy patterns. The attack patterns are a little bit random here, but you can see they're all swinging to the right, so I could just run around to the left. It's pretty free, because they're still looking at him.
Yeah. A little bit of enemy movement manipulation there through aggro. One of the great, I think it's one of the most interesting parts of this run being co-op is the way that you can manipulate enemy movement by following, I guess, following the opposite way that your partner goes. Where am I going? There we go. Almost forgot. We have to pick up this free rocket launcher here on this boat. Poor shipwrecked boat just has a free rocket launcher here. Don't question it.
And you have to pick this rocket launcher up. So for you to be able to buy a weapon in the inventory screen, you need to have picked it up in the game first. So that's why this rocket is so important. So prior, we were not able to purchase the rocket launcher in a new game file, but now we can buy the rocket whenever we want.
And this strat here coming up is something that Kamu and I sort of came up with. A lot of other people will just have Sheva bait out the enemies here, and then Chris will go on ahead. But what we're going to instead do is Kamu is going to shoot a rocket into a little alleyway where some village Magini are, as well as a little sub-boss are. And I'm just going to run immediately in there and be able to grab the crank in order to raise the bridge.
I think people didn't use the money here or people didn't use the rocket here because of money concerns, but we routed in just a bit of extra cash just in case.
Nice. That got all three of them. So I'm gonna head on over to this crank here, start taking the bridge up. And then Kamu's going to be able to just cross on over. This is actually one of my favorite parts is once he crosses into there, I just wait to see how many guys I can drop into the abyss. I'm also going to grab this treasure right over here. Then I just got to wait for Kamu to come around.
Rocket is a little bit safer as well, because otherwise, if we aggro improperly, the enemies might interrupt the Cosmic as he's raising the bridge, causing me to fall to my instant death on a bunch of smokes.
Quite instant death, yes. Alright, and that is Chapter 3-1. The tactical reset that we'll be using in this next section... I didn't fire a single round this time. Oh, that feels upsetting, but also cool. So, the tactical reset that we're going to be using here is going to be to despawn some enemies. Because we're going to get swarmed by a bunch of dudes. While we're trying to get into the next area, which leads to an oil plant where we believe that Irving is at.
So maybe the game will end after 3 chapters, hopefully.
Maybe. Maybe.
Spoilers, it does not end.
No, in fact, it does not. So I'm going to get over to this other end of the room while Kamu gets set up.
Ready whenever.
Okay. And then while I'm jumping down here to get the checkpoint, I'm going to restart, and we're going to restart up here. All the enemies are now gone from this section, and then Kamu's going to be on the crank for me to use this raft here. There's also going to be some gators here, so I'm just kind of mashing the... It's a guaranteed A+D prompt, and as long as I just mash it, I will immediately interact with the gator and dodge it. There's going to be a second. Go ahead.
Past this, Kazu's going to activate a switch, and there'll be another checkpoint which will teleport him to me across the bridge.
Yep. From here on out, I'll just refer to tactical resets as tac resets as well.
You should get one more gator.
Maybe, yeah. No, looks good. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to activate the bridge here. And then wait for Kamu's mark.
3, 2...
There we go. Nice. Grab it. Okay, you got that? Cool. So he shot down a little fire chandelier there. Has a treasure in it. I'm going to do the same for him. This is just to maximize the movement here. Got a little bit of time for donations here before we get into the oil plants as well.
They're one of the companies funding the BSA.
Tricell.
What are they doing there?
Funny enough, whoever says that line is determined by who enters this area first. So you can either hear Sheva's innocent bewilderment or Chris going, Tricell. They help fund the BSAA.
But I don't want to be distracted by super manly boys on a speedrun.
Yeah, so that's why we have Kamu go first.
No other reason.
No other reason. So here we gotta deactivate some fire that's blocking our path. And to do that, we have to activate these 3 valves. This guy I'm also going to shoot right here. There's also going to be a couple of chainsaw Magini that spawn here, but we're not going to deal with them at all. So we are just straight up not going to deal with them. That guy shot me. That's unfortunate.
I'm a little bit short on them.
A little bit? Alright. Might just have to be a little bit conservative then with it. Okay.
I could route it.
Sounds good. That is also another thing that I should note is that we pretty much constantly have to keep track of ammo consumption, especially Kamu with the machine gun, because if you don't get some great ammo drops, you can be kind of short come late game. So you have to be very, very careful about what you pick up and where. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. That guy is directly behind me. Monka! Let's get out of here. Whew! Alright. This next strat's gonna go by real quick. I'm gonna come over here, shoot this barrel, grab the flash nade, or grab the hand grenade, throw it into this group here. Boom. Alright, so now we just gotta wait for Josh Stone, another member of the BSAA. I'm gonna give this to you, actually. Oh, you have 2 green herbs, cool. This is a timed section here for a little bit. We got a little bit of time for donations. Let me give you this fire nade. And we just have to let him open up this door here so that we can go up to the next floor.
And this part's a little bit too because it's a timed bit, and casually you'd let the enemies kind of swarm around you. Josh would help you out, but we're going to be abusing a couple of in-game mechanics. Cosmic will be shooting the fence, and it's a one-hit to knock them off the fence, while I'll just be knifing the window, so they're unable to walk through.
Yeah, these are the 2 big spawn points here for this room, so you prevent all the enemies from coming in just by guarding these 2 points.
99% of the time it works. Sometimes it spawns one of the bigger dudes.
And that's just a
nightmare.
nightmare.
That will happen for a marathon, right?
Maybe, maybe not. I can't really rule it out, but I can't say that I'd be totally thrilled about it.
Don't you know the famous marathon one? That's never happened before.
That's never happened before. There we go. Now Josh has opened this up for us, and we're out of here. I think. No, actually we're not. Right, yeah. You thought, gamers. So we're going to be heading up through this room. Basically, we just kind of want to move through as brisk a pace as possible so Josh gets to the console sooner. I'm going to take this guy out just because. Oh my. And then I'm going to grab this proximity mine. This is a fixed spawn as well, that barrel, having the proximity mine. We're going to use this for a neat little trick later. The big thing here for me, I have plenty of ammo, by the way. Don't worry about it. So the big thing here is for me to delay the chainsaw Magini and his cronies from getting to Josh. And mostly what I want to do is just make sure that I punch him pretty much like once, and then we're pretty much good to go from there. We're kind of in the clear.
I'll just be waiting ahead to activate the door as soon as he punches him once. That way we can get into a cutscene that directs us to the station.
You also see me reloading instantly as I'm shooting these guys. If you slide from reload to melee, not like that. But if you slide from reload to melee during a melee prompt being up, then you can instantly reload and just cancel the entire reload animation. Nice. Alright, so proximity mine. This proximity mine I'm going to place by this door here so that when the enemies run into it after we've activated the cutscene, they'll blow up, and they'll also blow up the lock on this door. That might be a little bit too far, but that's fine. Worst case scenario, you just shoot it, yeah.
Look, it's the boat that Irving's on.
Oh, excellent.
JK.
Oh, no, wait. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Also, this line right here is pretty clean. Okay, never mind. You know, famous last words. So I thought. Alright, there we go. That was good.
For you.
Alright. And Kamu's just waiting a little bit here to shoot the tripwires so the dogs come into the area, and he can actually take out the dogs with the tripwires. Then we just kind of got to run to the end. I got to help Josh out here. No soldier left behind. And that's 3-2. So this is actually probably the first big buy of the game. We got to sell some treasures and then buy our first rocket launchers. So I got to buy 2 of them, I believe. Okay, and then put that right down there. Should be good to go. And this is the first real boss fight with Irving. Well, this is like the only time that you actually fight Irving right here. Oh goodness, that's not good.
So in this part of the story, Irving escapes on a giant cruise liner, a little yacht. Oh, not a cruise liner, sorry, a yacht. He says, "You'll never catch me." He says, "I know of your friend Jill." And then this is where Chris is like, "Oh man, this has become a little bit personal." He's doing everything he can to catch her.
Me shooting down all these enemies, by the way, is pretty important to us just never facing any sort of adversaries during this section. So actually shooting properly here is not only going to save me on ammo, but it's also going to save us a bunch of headaches. I also have to cover... ooh, BSAA emblem. I also have to cover Kamu at this point. Make sure that he does not face any aggro from enemies. And shoot down these flying bugs here. Oh, that enemy does actually just totally despawn. Shoot this guy for him. And this guy's gonna also turn around, so we're just gonna shoot him. And I'm gonna just pre-fire on this guy while we're not moving. This is also the best part of the game, by the way. So we'll just have to all pay attention to Josh's lines here. You ready?
I'm always ready for this line. Wasn't
Get
that
down.
one?
Not that one. No.
Another pipe.
Another pipe. Get down. Best line. Absolutely. 100%. You good on ammo?
Always.
Word.
Got my
That's what I like to hear. I'm gonna have to pick up a little bit of extra ammo over here. There's like 15 handgun ammo. Nice.
Do it after the machine gun?
Okay, makes sense. Yep. So these two machine guns up here, we have to take them out as fast as possible. So we're gonna use two precise spots to shoot them from. Kamu's gonna stop right about here. Take down the one on the left. I'm gonna stop right about here. Take down the one on the right. And that'll give us almost sailing free for this next section. Shoot this guy for Kamu. And then shoot that guy. And then I gotta get on the levers here. Oh goodness, they dropped the thing on me. All right. Oh no, 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 no. This is unfortunate. Okay, there we go. Good. Nice. Sometimes they can, very rarely, I've noticed, they can drop that box on you, and you'll have to you have to just kind of sit there and wait for it to expire. But unfortunate. I'm gonna grab this handgun ammo here.
So right now we're going to be dealing with Irving, and as opposed to aiming with the rocket launcher, we're going to be using what is a quick switch. Pretty much when you fire the rocket in its original state, there's a whole animation where you're looking down the rocket, having to look down the scope, like I am doing. But what Cosmic is going to do is he will be aiming with his machine gun and instantly switch to the rocket, which will cause the instant fire where his machine gun was last game.
Just try not to get yourself skinned.
So here we go. There we go. Down. So you saw I just aimed with the handgun there, and then hot swapped over to my rocket. My rocket is on my 6 in my inventory, so I hit 1 and then 6 after aiming down, and that just takes out the boss.
At this point of the story, Irving's like, surprise, surprise, I'm not the final boss.
Yeah, turns out that Tricell and Wesker. Oh wait, is that? I don't remember if that's at this point. Okay, spoiler alert. Albert Wesker returns.
Somebody we know is in this case.
Oh, that's right, Excella. Excella is introduced. Head of Tricell. I'm gonna also use this flash grenade here. This flash grenade being guaranteed at the beginning of 4.1 is very important because there's gonna be a bunch of spiders in our path up this wooden ladder. And we're just gonna use a flash grenade to just take them all out instantly.
What are they called in the remake of Resident Evil 3?
I don't actually remember.
But if you could grab one, there's this whole animation where you're struggling 5-6 second time loss per grab. But
yeah, you can't actually shake out of it either. There we go. Cool. Alright.
I never knew such a place existed here.
Going a little bit Tomb Raider on this part.
I actually like this area quite a bit in the story. Very cool ruins area. I'm gonna activate this cutscene here, which is going to then put me over here. Kamu's gonna have to go around while I grab this right here. Some treasures. Call for the shot assist if you need it, by the way. Good. Cool. Nice.
So normally, Cosmic might have to cover for me if one of those stray arrows that hit me, causing me to stumble behind the cycle, those shielded enemies would actually be blocking my
gonna run through these guys. This room right here, we call it, well, I call it, and then Kamu begrudgingly just lets me call it the Ballroom Blitz. And we have to activate this co-op lever here. And then there's a bunch of fireballs. Great balls of fire are gonna come down. And we're gonna have to make our way to, or at least one of us is gonna have to make our way to the end of the door, or to the end of the room.
Before that door closes.
Yeah, before the door closes. Go ahead.
It would be one ball cycle. So the ball movement in this is random. Sometimes 3 balls block your way, sometimes it's just 1 ball, and luckily we got the 1 ball cycle there.
I'm gonna pick up a little bit of this just to be safe. Only a couple seconds time loss. Not bad.
Pretty good ball rotation there. Other times there would be 3 balls literally just bouncing off each other right in front of the entrance. That's usually the worst one.
This is just an action Danger Man sequence of QTs, so we got a little bit of time for donations here as well.
A lot of these QT prompts are usually the same 2 buttons, so we preemptively just know what's going to happen. Very rarely should we die to any of these QETs or QTEs, but you know, happens to the best of us, doesn't it, Cosmic?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Not a clue. I'm kidding. I always try and make those jokes with a straight face, and then I just never can. Also, Chris is here on the left, and then for some reason he's facing this way on the left now. Cutscene consistency. Right here, we're going to have to pull a bunch of levers that fortunately have treasures behind them. I'm also going to be picking up the grenade launcher here. The grenade launcher is mostly a form of utility throughout the run. The big thing that we're going to be using with it is flash rounds. We're not going to buy any like explosive rounds or fire rounds or acid rounds. Mostly just going to be flash round usage, but it's a very big part of Chris's toolkit during this. And this is what's really, really cool about this run, like I was talking about earlier. Each character, or both players I should say, have kind of their own thing that they need to do, not only in terms of splitting up tasks, but also in terms of what weapons you're going to be using, what ammo you're going to be picking up, how many heals you really need to carry at a time, what treasures you got to pick up. There's just, it's all very, very cool how everything just sort of coalesces once both players are in tune with each other.
And very precise too.
Absolutely. Also, here's Robin Hood. Robin Hood is a guest star in this speedrun.
So another example where you see the enemies clearly attacking him, I have a little bit easier of a time dodging them as they open that space room.
And there's the good old bulky Chris frame getting in the way. I tried to go for the quicker line.
Yeah.
To be this swole and have such a big hurt box.
For those of you wondering, speaking of swole, we will not be punching any boulders in this run.
No, sorry. There's no boulder punching here. That's slow. Alright, so spiders are also going to spawn right here. Kamu has to be pretty careful here, just to make sure that he doesn't get grabbed by one before coming over to his lever. Then we're going to come back over this way. This next section here is going to mark the return of the Bat Burrows. It's going to be quite a different strategy though than we used before. He's already grounded, but you'll see.
If only there was an instant kill trigger.
True. If only. If only we had a rocket, right?
Only. You know what? If we had a rocket, we could have killed him, but...
Oh well. We're just gonna have to run away, I guess. Like the cowards that we are. Did you actually have to use the dodge prompt there?
Yeah. Oh, well, I didn't have to use it, but...
Oh, okay. But you saw it, though. Alright, and here we go. Just a QT mash, and... this big boy... is rubble. Sorry, bud. It's for the good of Africa.
I always ask Cosmic at this point, do you think bats actually just run into things and just, like, accidentally die?
Yeah, and I don't think I ever have a definitive response. I mean, you would think not because of their sonar, but sort of like those QTE prompts in the Action Danger Man sequence. It happens to the best of us.
Let's heal.
All right, sounds good. Do you have 1 or 2 heals?
I do stand still. For the cutscenes.
Okay.
Stand still.
Okay. Oh, you have 2 heals. Okay. Cool. All right.
Normally we want to heal before this cutscene because this starts the laser cycle. And while these lasers aren't one-hit kill, they knock you off your feet. There's a set cycle, and obviously on a casual playthrough, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have died or watched the AI. But using exact lines and set timings, we will be in this section.
This section is also like a beautiful example of tactical resets. I'm gonna wait for Kamu's call here. Okay. And
This
then
also laser cycle as well.
Yep, this does also manipulate the laser cycle. So not only does it bring me to Kamu, allowing us to do that assist jump, it also manipulates the laser cycles. So every time, I just have to wait here. We get the second emblem there, and I can just run up here. Wait for the next laser cycle. And then I get to come to the third emblem, and Kamu's going to be waiting at the entrance to the area to put in the first sigil, where we're going to do a tactical reset after I pick up the third sigil right here. I'm going to knock these 2 guys down, run on by, and then wait on your mark.
Starting 3, 2, 1.
Cool.
A section that normally takes around 5 to 10 minutes of casual playthrough, we got done in what, a minute and a half, 2 minutes?
About that, yep.
Tactical resets.
Alright. And so, yeah, tactical resets for the win. So that whole area is just, all RNG from it is completely, or almost completely, I want to say, manipulated by the tactical resets there. I'm also going to shoot down that treasure for Kamu. These puzzles right here with the sun lasers are the same every time. So as long as each person understands how they have to move through the different rooms, this section goes the same way every time. Come on.
Fortunately, these lasers are one-hit killing.
That is quite unfortunate.
And oftentimes on a casual playthrough, and even on a speedrun, if you get hit by your partner's laser because either one of you moved too quickly or one of you moved too slowly, you'll die, they'll reset the room, and usually a reset.
There you go, there's the first one. A little bit of time for donations here as well, kind of just doing the same thing here for a little bit. I'm just going to be moving mine in place while Kamu gets his. Once he's good to go, he's going to let me know. And then I get to kick down this right here. Activates this. Boom.
And you want to be careful quick turning here, especially speedrunning. Sometimes I've seen speedrunners run into lasers right after they knock down their pillars. It's unfortunate.
Quite. You hate to see it.
I am good.
Cool. That means I can now do this laser right here.
And that is the laser puzzle room.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Here's the second instance of a mass inventory overhaul on both of our ports. I think.
Yeah, I believe so. Oops. Alright. And then while you're doing your thing, I believe I have to, I just have to put the rocket launcher into my inventory. Should be anyway. Yeah, because next thing there. Yep, so...
I wonder if this is what Irving meant by answers.
So at this point,
go ahead, yeah.
For your Resident Evil, there's always a high-tech laboratory underneath something, whether it's a hospital, a mansion. I will be introduced to a very familiar old foe. A lot of fan favorites, a lot of speedrunners favorites, because they're usually free on most of their speedruns.
The Lickers. The Lickers are a blind enemy. We will not be taking advantage of this in this speedrun. We will not be taking advantage of their blindness.
Casually,
Go ahead. What's up?
Casually, we try to run by them since they're blind, but you know, we're going fast.
I'm gonna open this door here and then hit this lever. Got a little bit of time for donation. We got time for a couple quick donations here as well before we get into the fights.
A bit of RNG here.
Alright. So you saw Kamu there activate a cutscene, so I could actually run by during the Liquor's canned animation into the room here in order to open up the door. And that just gets us through the first encounter there.
Thank God there weren't more of them.
Yeah, we wouldn't last in a fight with a whole horde.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, that's not ominous at all.
And because this game is co-op, they decided, of course, to give Liquor's wanted kill text, where if your partner doesn't get you off of, or the Liquor off of you in time, you will die.
There was an instant kill coming out there almost. A little tongue there. You got ammo?
No, I'm good.
So the big thing here with the grenade launcher is just going to be for me to crowd control the Liquors while we're waiting for the elevator to come back.
Halfway. Quarters. Start backing up.
Ooh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Oop, yep. That's fine now. Okay, cool. Got hit there a little bit, but all things considered, pretty decent.
The insta kill is where he jumps onto you.
This is a quick kill here as well on the crab. Only have a couple of seconds to actually do it.
Crab will open his mouth for the first 2 seconds of the fight and then close it, run around the platform. You do your bits dodging his attacks, but you know, speedrun tactics.
Speedrun tactics. And there we go, that guy's down. So then here, I actually have to sell all my treasures that I've gathered up to this point. And what I like to do here is buy an extra set of flash rounds for safety purposes. We usually buy one set. I like to buy 2 of them. And I also need to buy 2 rocket launchers. And then put one of the flash rounds in my inventory, as well as exchange it out there, and then I can just go on in. I don't actually need a rocket launcher for this chapter.
Was talking about.
She's got us under surveillance. I can almost guarantee she sent that BOW to eliminate us.
You can ask her about that.
All right. So now we're in this huge underground facility,
which introduces the third type of enemies, the commons with guns and like. Very similar to Resident Evil 4, no mask.
Nice. So the no mask there that Kama was calling out was that some enemies do actually have masks that they wear that make them immune to my flash grenades. So we would know that if we had to take out one of them that way. There's one mask here. Nice. But we can just move through pretty clean. Oh shoot, that's unfortunate. Famous last words. The flash grenades there, you saw the huge utility of crowd control there. We're able to get through without firing or killing, you know, a single enemy.
Those iframe stuff.
Indeed, except there. This part right here is a little bit risky. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. You kind of just have to pray that you're not going to get knocked down.
Come on!
I'll heal us in the next room.
Sounds good. This is the manip, right?
Is it?
No, it's liquor room. Okay, liquor room. Yeah, I always forget. So liquors here, you just kind of have to follow lines again, and make sure that because you're just manipulating your aggro here. See, that one always will just do the instant kill, and then we just have to come down here. Oop. Chris hitbox. Coming on through. And then we just move on down. This manipulation right here. Yep. Oh, okay, yep. Oh, shit. Well, okay. We're just both so generous. Anyway, so this manipulation here, you just kind of have to run against this wall here. And then when you do that, you don't actually draw the aggro of any of these enemies here. So this whole fight that breaks out never happens.
There's a whole cutscene where people with machine guns start jumping around. The alarm is going off, but you know, they're just like, you know, I ain't getting paid for this. So they're just like, fun.
If only we could do that on the next room.
But this room is really free. Optimal movement, obviously, just comes from the conveyor belt. It's also noted that the conveyor belt is a set. It's not RNG, whether it's on the left or right side.
Yeah. This room right here is kind of a nightmare at times. That's a RNG grenade. That's bad RNG.
That's good on mine.
Nice. You can just head on through. Nice shot.
Shoot you one. Okay, good. That's everything.
Nice. And then head on through. That was actually really clean. That room can go pretty awry pretty quickly.
Because any one of the stray bullets that they fire can hit a gas tank, we get knocked down, we go into red.
Which is not a good time. This is actually... Oh, what are those things hanging up there? Oh, this is ominous.
Can you pick up the ammo for me?
Yep, got you. Little communication like that, by the way, is pretty crucial, I think, to going fast in this game. Being able to just like immediately call out stuff for your partner and make little adaptations on the fly like that. Very good to do in order to not lose time.
Whoa, these eggs have hatched. I wonder what's in them.
Bugs. The Novies of this game, they have weak points that we can expose with flash rounds and stuff. You gonna grab this lever? Or whatever. Actually, I can grab it because I was the first here. It's fine. So we're just gonna stun him right here. Shoot a couple of bullets there. We're not gonna pay attention to him otherwise. And then we're gonna just run down this conveyor belt backwards in reverse, you know. I guess Sheva and Chris were those types of people in the malls that like to go up on the down escalator.
It's also noted that the bugs, the Novisadors in this game, because of a wall, can instant kill you.
That is true.
Is not a you can save your partner from getting insta killed. This is a insta kill cutscene where they penetrate you. Oh, sorry, wrong word. Pierce you with their claws.
They impale you. Yeah, it's not a good time. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Also, this is a fixed spawn here for these flame rounds.
Come on.
So we're going to use those a little bit later. That'll come into play a little bit later. Also, here's the return of the ramen burros, and Kamu's just going to just down it right here. Boom.
This is the same quick swap aim technique. In the lore of the story, that Ouroboros is actually much stronger than the other Ouroboros you fight, but, you know, I guess they haven't discovered rocket launchers when they were
Alright, I'm going to grab this other thing that I had here, and I'm just going to put this rocket launcher into my inventory.
So this chapter is the most infamous slash, I would say the hardest chapter in the game.
I would definitely agree there, yeah. There's a really big boss fight at the end of this chapter that can make or break like a lot of PvE attempts. We'll explain it once we get to it a little bit later. Basically, we're about to go confront Wesker, who is behind most of the operations of Tricell. and their wrongdoings in Africa.
Wesker? You mean Albert Wesker from Resident Evil 1?
I do mean Albert Wesker from Resident Evil 1. He's back, and he's a mustache-twirling villain and an absolute gem in this game. Also, I'm going to use this rocket launcher here to clear these guys out.
This room is also very hard as well because bugs spawn for the instant kill. Luckily, I have a partner who shoots flame or flashbang. 2 bugs.
Cool.
Left is free.
Yes.
3.
Oh no, left was not free. Unfortunate.
Example of a heavier clunky model having a bit of a harder time with running by it.
Yeah. Fortunately, here, when we get reset back to the checkpoint, I still have my rocket, so the route is pretty safe in that regard. If things go too crazy, you can actually just reset, and you'll have all of your stuff back.
And sometimes where the bugs spawn not is completely random, like there for instance. Bugs did not spawn. So that usually means that this one will spawn.
Alright, so let's see here. So Kamu is going to activate the switch over here. Basically, I just have to make sure that we keep the bugs controlled in this room. In this case, it's just one bug, but...
Got the second bug coming.
And we're just going to wait for him to get onto the platform here.
Good.
Okay. And there we go. Now this despawns all the enemies in the room, fortunately. And then we get to do this right here.
Wow, no enemies.
Hey. There's 2 enemies that are always going to come around here to try and hit Kamu. And they are guaranteed to be Plagas as well. So I am going to try and take this guy out. Unfortunately, I did not get him. And there's that. Oh, what?
I think you actually hit me with your flash run.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's fine, I guess. Excuse me? Okay. Oh, shoot.
We just run.
That's fine. Well, okay, that would work now. I mean, now we're gonna have to reset for the flash round. At Wesker and Joe. Oh, wait. Spoilers.
I only heard Wesker. Did you say a second name after that?
Maybe. Maybe I did. Oh, this guy's gonna fire at me. I just know it. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna shoot this dude in the back. Oh, that guy had a helmet on this time. That is the first time I've ever seen that enemy with a helmet on. Yeah, this is a good time to actually get some ammo. Since we are a little bit low here. A little bit low for our liking. Is any of this? That's rifle. Okay. Normally we don't stop to get that there. But I usually have a lot more ammo at this point than right now, so... Just gonna try and play it safe. Unfortunately, the drops just weren't there for it.
So while we're going up this elevator, this line is actually pretty precise in terms of where I will need to be standing, because at 2 points at this, there will be 2 switches that will be activated that stop the elevator, but I will be placed in a position where I can optimally just shoot the switch as soon as they spawn.
So this is all about, like, where I'm standing relative to Kamu is based on where the enemies are going to be firing and where their shots will end up. So he'll be able to dodge them, and then the leading of the shots will cause me to not get hit by them either.
Did I get your green thing, Herb?
Yeah. I must say, by the way, Tricell has built quite the robust facility for what
All
they are
for
doing.
the pharmaceutical needs and interests. Nothing sinister in the plan.
Not at all. Alright. This part right here as well, you saw me reload the explosive rounds into my grenade launcher, because I'm going to try and kill these dudes up here pretty much as they're spawning in. And that'll just get rid of, you know, us having to deal with them on the bridge there. I think that maybe... No, one dude did not make it as good, I think. Wait, there's one. There's two up guys up there. Oh, that's interesting. Unfortunate, but...
We just run by. Ooh.
Yeah, he's feisty.
Guy has a gun, decides to hit me with it.
Take some guts right there. Alright, actually, so... Do we want to reset now? Because there's a checkpoint at the next boss fight.
Jill, the second phase.
Okay.
The west phase.
Yep, makes sense.
More ruins.
So if it hasn't been spoiled by our casual talk already,
We're gonna have to lower that bridge.
secret agent that is releasing Ouroboros to the villagers, to the swamp area. But the person is hooded, so we have no idea who it is, but it is actually Jill Valentine under the control of Albert Wesker.
And we'll actually be confronting both of them here after this section with the liquors. This part is pretty much just about Kamu drawing the aggro of the liquors as well as providing me with some cover fire.
Usually we only need to knock down 2 liquors off the platform and that'll get Cosmic the space he needs. Meanwhile, I have liquors right next to me, but you know, it's the job of a sidekick.
So he's just going to draw all of them around to probably what, the beginning of the room, right? You usually draw them over there. So
I
that...
have two extra names, they're dying.
Now, that's what I like to hear.
And another hit.
Wow, that's a lot of extra nades, actually. So after I grab this, I'm going to push this down here, grab this lever. Then we're going to be able to head into the boss fight. Uh-oh, that guy's here. That's a big boy. Alright, here we go. Heading on over. That guy's gonna... I knew he was gonna do it. I should have just juked. I zigged when I should have zagged. Alright, boss fight time.
So
Oh snap, it's Jill and Wesker.
So for the first phase, normally you would just have to survive. For not 7 minutes necessarily, but we're gonna do enough damage to Wesker here.
Yeah, so Kamu's gonna shoot a rocket at him. And then he's gonna catch the rocket, but I'm gonna be able to just shoot the rocket in his hands, and then he's just dead. Here, so we're gonna just checkpoint reset here, so I have some flash rounds in my inventory.
You wanna explain the fight here?
Yeah, so Jill has a mind control device on her chest, and Kamu has to shoot it 7 times in order for us to get an instant pull off. And this is really hard because he has to shoot her in the leg to stun her, and then shoot her in the chest again in order to loop the stun. And like I said, he has to do this 7 times, and it's pretty precise because of the bloom on the machine gun that he's using.
We've reset here before. This kills a lot of runs.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're gonna do.
7.
Nice. Got her. And there we go.
And we're only allowed to mess up. You can tell we hit the right spot when the electric current goes off. But if we hit the wrong spot, obviously blood will come out. And if we hit her too many times, it activates a very long cutscene where Jill dies, and Chris is like, no.
No, Jill.
I can give you the sniper, by the way. So.
You can?
Cannot.
You cannot. Okay, that's fine. So that is good to know. Alright, so I'm going to grab my Dragunov from earlier here. Upgrade the capacity on it. And then I also have 2 cell treasures. Yep. And buy 2 rocket launchers. Oopsie. I went to the wrong thing. There we go. Rocket launcher. I have a lot of extra money.
I'm going to upgrade inventory.
Okay.
That was sick.
Yep. And yeah, because I don't need any rocket launcher here. No. Okay. So this right here, this is called Cage Skip.
This ship was huge.
And yeah, that's fine. We'll just do this right here. I only need like a little bit of heal there. But normally when you're going through this section casually, there will be a cage that comes down. And oh boy, that's unfortunate. And then you have to do a whole like escape sequence with it where the one person helps the other person out of it. But we're just gonna not do that because I'm gonna snipe this guy up here up top. Not this guy. This guy right up here. There we go. Good to go there, by the way, on the mark, comma.
Wow, one shot.
Yep. It's a freaking Christmas miracle.
So normally, I don't want to hit this checkpoint before he kills him, because otherwise, when he resets, the guy is still alive, and it will get the cutscene, because he would have killed him just before.
Let's see here. Okay, there's machine gun ammo for you. Nice.
Want to heal?
We'll heal it right up here. Yep. Because I only have the one heal. Yep. Okay. So, there we go. Sounds good. So, with that enemy destroyed, we just did a tactical reset to bring myself down to Kamu. And there's no cage here.
Yeah, normally one of us would be captured here, and the other one would have to travel all the way back, activate a switch.
Alright, here we're gonna also, he's gonna hit the thing there. He's gonna also get, oh, no, you just actually went for it. Nice. That also took guts. Okay.
Sometimes he punches you off the lift, and then...
Just not a good time.
It's called the second time lost.
You can also stop for ammo pickup here, right?
I do.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I figured you were going to. Alright. This room right here is another tactical reset. We don't really have to fight anybody in here. Pretty good time for donations, just because it's going to be just a bunch of walking and stuff.
This tanker is so big. It won't be easy finding Wesker.
That won't be a problem. Once he knows we're here, he'll find us.
And how do you know that?
Let's just say we have
We
a
have
This
a
is my
history.
favorite line of the game, to be honest.
type to let grudges go.
Sheva's response here.
Hmm.
Done something to really piss him off.
It goes a bit beyond.
Here we are trying to save the world.
So,
Learning the
are
history
you
of
going
that
to tell
guy.
me what happened?
Hmm. Go. Alright, so there we go. This guy's always going to swing this way. We just can run past him. Me shooting a flash nade here as well is not really even, like, worth it most of the time, just because a lot of the enemies are just kind of walled away or behind shields and stuff, so pretty whatever. All I'm going to do here is just move so that I'm not going to be accosted by any of them while Kamu goes up the ladder and I wait for the tactical reset. 3, 2, 1. Go. Okay. This minigun guy here is going to spawn, and Kamu is just going to take it right out with a rocket.
Oh,
wait a minute. Oh, okay. Canned animation. All right, that's fine. Interesting. So while he picks up that tanker key card there, I'm going to pick up tanker key card B. And then we're going to just tactical reset back to it. Oh, you're going to actually grab your... Yeah, the rocket launcher here. So I'm going to grab the rocket launcher here as well. And then I'll put the flame rounds in. And this just avoids us having to use a menu at 6.2.
So we managed to route the extra rocket launcher from the village from here because we realized every enemy here drops a treasure that's worth 5,000, and you only need 2 of these to buy a rocket.
Correct. I also have some ammo for you next time we get a chance. Probably in War Room. So there we go. And we're kind of in the final stretch of the game here. Only 2 chapters left.
And only 2 enemies left. It's Scylla and Wesker. So I wonder who our next 2 bosses might be.
I wonder. Oh yes, Sheva.
So in this cutscene, Wesker obviously trains Scylla. She becomes a giant Ouroboros. And we just gotta do a lot of conflicts.
Pretty good time for donations here during this.
Because these QTs are set prompts, we just instantly press the buttons as they're happening. For this next instance, it's going to be F for run.
Press F to run and pay respects. Also, Chris's running animation here just gets me every time when she says that something is up there. Yep. So here, oh, Chris language. Oh, I thought I backed up enough. Okay. So these tentacles are gonna come out of the ceiling, and I'm just gonna use the fire grenades here to instantly retract them. A couple of them do just instantly retract on their own, but there's 3 that I'm gonna have to actually hit myself. So that one is also gonna retract there. We dodged it this time, yay! And then I'm going to also shoot the wall here in order to hit this enemy. Kamu's going to take it out. I'll grab this one. Grab the bridge card, key card, and then we're going to be on to the boss fight.
So an explosive round does not kill the enemy, and what that enemy does is spawn a really, really strong Plaga, but we found a manipulation that if you hit him with the explosive nade and a couple of bullets, he'll instantly die.
Come on.
Yes, sir. Also, in case you thought Chris Redfield was pulling punches, this is the fight where we use a giant satellite laser. This is why I did not need a rocket for this section, because we're taking you down. Bring the pain. Shoutouts to Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Alright, I didn't need a rocket for this section. Yeah, good thing I put it in there. That's why I didn't need 2 rockets for this section, is what I meant to say.
So for this boss, there are 3 big points. You need to hit the 2 arms and the main eye. Obviously, on my screen, I used my first rocket for the left eye. Cosmic used the laser for the right arm, and the main head, which is my Cosmic's rocket, which is the one to kill.
And there's that. We're just going to combine those. There's that for you. Good to go. So this is the last stretch of the game. We just basically have to stop Wesker now. That's the only thing standing in our way. And we're the only thing standing in his way.
He's taking a giant blackbird or some sort of bomber.
Come on.
And the rockets, of course, are filled with Ouroboros.
Yeah, so he can't... The thing that he did here was that he can't actually be shot down because it would otherwise release Ouroboros into the air. However, Chris and Sheva are really the only ones in the know about this. So they've just got to stop him before it comes to that. This section is also timed. There's just going to be some enemy fights and stuff. We just gotta wait for these bulkheads here to open up.
And this is where you'll see a lot of us do our really quick menuing for reloads. Because while this bit is just time, it's always a lot of these enemies can cause us problems if we're not careful.
Yeah, this room is definitely all about just enemy management. In a second here, once more of the bulkhead is opened up, enemies will spawn on the other end of the room, and I'm gonna have to snipe them down, or snipe them as they're spawning in. Especially one that spawns in with a rocket. We would just want to avoid him, you know, getting his stuff, getting his shots off entirely. Nice knife. Okay. Should be nice. Okay.
Obviously, these are coming in where they're geared. Their armor is, so it's just usually improv where we should go.
Uh-oh. Nice. Okay, there we go. What was that guy from? Where was that guy from? Unfortunate that one of them had a mask. Do you want to despawn here?
Yeah.
Alright. So this is a bit of a safety strat. It's not faster, but we can despawn the enemies in this room by activating this checkpoint here. We're going to have to activate the levers again, but instead of having to deal with all the enemies in the room plus the bugs that spawn in, we're only going to have to deal with the bugs now.
Very easy. But when they're people shooting rocket launchers at you and an insta-kill bug on the floor,
it's a little bit much, yeah. And this is also why I buy the second pack of flash nades here. Just to be sure that I have enough there to get them into their instant kill state.
A bit of a time set, so I just run around, have a little bit of fun.
At the once this bulkhead comes up, there's going to be 2 minigun guys that spawn in, and I just have to hit them with a rocket launcher in order to kill both of them immediately.
Their hitboxes are sometimes screwed up, so they won't both die, but that's why I have luckily picked up 3 grenades along the way.
Yeah, we'll be able to down it pretty quickly otherwise. Not worth resetting over at this point, too much time loss. But hopefully I'll just get this rocket off pretty much immediately. Got time for a couple of detonations as well. There we go, both of them down. Oops. Okay, there we go. Alright, and this fight here against Wesker takes place at an airfield, and it involves a little bit of RNG. However, before we get into that, best line in the game. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry, that's after this. So we're going to always reset here, because I have to buy a rocket launcher for this fight, or put a rocket launcher into my inventory for this fight. I want to shoot it at the ground here, and then Sheva's going to shoot him. Okay, unfortunate RNG there is again, so we're just going to have to reset.
He has a lot of iframes, and if he's dodging Sheva's bullets, that's when you can tell you missed or that RNG played. So on a good run, it could be 1 reset. On a bad run, it could be up to 5, 6, 7 resets. This is where a lot of losses.
Got him.
Do it now! Give him the shot!
And this is a serum that they overdose him with to act as a poison to him. Here we go. Released into the atmosphere, ensuring complete global saturation. This is probably one of my favorite cutscenes in the game, if not my favorite overall. Definitely shows off how much of a badass Wesker is in this game. And this is where Chris laments losing Jill during an earlier operation to Wesker, and he won't let the same happen to Sheva. No! Also, now we're in a volcano.
What a convenient place to crash land on.
Also, time is going to be coming up soon.
Why can't you understand, Chris?
Time is coming up, but no boulder is coming up because I will be rocketing its weak spot right here.
I think that I did something wrong here. Yeah, I did. Yeah, we tried. No, it's gonna. I jumped a little bit too early there. That's fine. I got a little bit antsy. Okay, there we go.
So what happens? Cosmic's not is supposed to stand still, which causes Wesker to expose his weak spot, but also with the one-hit KO animation, which you'll see right here.
Humans have escaped this winnowing for far too long.
There we go. And here we go. Time is coming up.
Ready, partner?
In 3, 2, 1 time. And that is Resident Evil 5, new game co-op, amateur setting. Once again, my name is DE Cosmic.
And my name is AvuKamu.
And we hope that you enjoyed this game submission. Hope to see you at the marathon. Peace, peace.
Thank you.